Hey everyone! Today I went down to the flea market and I found some really cool stuff today. A lot more than I have, I think, all summer. See, first up, here's a CD soundtrack to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I love the movie, so really happy to find the soundtrack. Really looking forward to listening to some of this. And then I got a bunch of DVDs. Here's a Pollyanna. I remember watching this when I was a kid. Most of the live-action Disney movies don't really stick with me, but I do remember really liking this, and this is I think probably a tricky one to find. I've never seen this in stores anywhere, not even like secondhand. So yeah, really cool to find this. It's got, let's see, yeah, 2 discs. Really cool bonus features. We got a commentary with the actors, the director, animated short making ofs, old like archival stuff. That's really neat. And then I went to my comic book store or electronics store, whatever. I went to Soundground and I got Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. Haven't seen this, but so far I've liked a lot of like the Looney Tunes TV shows, so I'm hoping that this is good too. And then I got a whole bunch of Thomas the Tank Engine DVDs. Percy's Ghostly Trick. Then a double feature one, Thomas and the Treasure and Thomas, Percy and the Dragon. Thomas Comes to Breakfast, and a Best of Thomas DVD. I don't know who the narrators are for these ones, if it's Ringo or Carlin, or some of these might even be Angelus, who knows. So there's that. And then, oh, here it is. I got this, I found one R.L. Stine book, Call Waiting. I think I might have actually read this. See, this is a weird one. It's not part of the Fear Street series. It's one of his, like, more adult books. These were kind of like slasher novels for young adults. That down there. And, oh, this was a cool thing. A couple of people at the flea market, they had big boxes full of comics. Dirt cheap. Really wish I had gotten more, but I was running out of money. So anyway, 2 X-Men books. X-Men The Asgardian Wars. This was really cool to find. Look how thick that is. That's crazy. And then I got X-Men Visionaries 2 Neil Adams collection. And we get a bunch of older X-Men comics. Let's see. Looks like they're digitally recolored for this. Looks kind of weird. Huh. Boy, these look very strange, the way they're like recolored in here, but it's not too big of a deal, and it's in color, so that's nice. It's not like the Essential books where they're all in black and white. And then, oh, there was another one, Cyclops Retribution. It's like a mini graphic novel. I'm not sure what this is. I haven't opened it. It was, oh, and these big ones were actually in giant, like, Mylar bags with back covers, too. That was weird. Haven't seen much of that. Then here we got another one, Code of Honor, and there's Spider-Man with a big dinosaur or something there. No idea what that's about. Oh, and then this one, I had to take it out of the bag it was in because it was, like, water damaged. You might be able to still see a little bit of, like, dust and stuff there on the end of it. It was, like, full of, like, mud or dust or something. The comic itself is fine. It's a little warped, but it's fine. And then, oh, this was a cool thing. A whole bunch of old Woody Woodpecker comics from 3 different companies. Dell, Whitman, and Gold Key. Yeah, all 3 from different companies. That's really strange. Usually, like, if I find these older types of comics from, like, Gold Key, Whitman, or Dell, they're like all the same company, like, or like, what's the word? They're issues that came out one right after the other. Ugh. Here got stuck to the tape there. So yeah, Woody Woodpecker comics. That's cool to find. They also had some old like Looney Tune comics, which I know some people really like. Oh, here's another big graphic novel thing. See, the Valiant era collection. So this was neat to find. They also had the Exo Manowar one, which I've seen a lot of. I think that must have been like the first big one they did. So anyway, I saw Turok there, so I got it. Oh, this was in a bag too, but I took it out earlier to see if Turok was indeed in this. He's in it, but none of his comics are. It's like a guest spot that he has in Magnus robot fighter, I think. So that's unfortunate, but oh well, it's still a cool thing, and I do like having, you know, a book with a guest appearance by Turok. And then it's classic X-Men. So yeah, this looks cool. Oh, and this was a cool thing to find. Alpha Flight number 54. This was the, I think, very first Alpha Flight comic I ever read. And because of that, the copy I have is just in awful, awful shape. And this one, it's not in the best of shape. It's a little knocked around, rolled a little bit. The staples are ripping the back cover a little bit, but it's in far nicer shape than the one I have. Oh, and the bottom's ripped a little bit there. It's in far better shape than the one I have, which when I was little, I like stapled the cover back on, and so the side has tape all over, it has staples on it. It's all ripped up, it's got smears on it, so yeah. Very happy to find this in a better shape. And then here's a Excalibur comic, and a X Factor, and oh, another Excalibur comic. And then here's a really weird one. Time Force. Okay. So this will be interesting to see. Yeah, Time Force. Unrelated to Power Rangers Time Force. Such a weird... Yeah, anyway. Bold Adventure presents Time Force from PC for the new era in comics. Alright. So this will be interesting to look through. And then, oh, I went to the dollar store. I got a box of these old button batteries. They're only $1, so, yeah, I didn't want to pass that up. Those are usually kind of pricey. Let's see. Oh, and here's something cool. The other day in the mail, I got a Power Rangers Shattered Grid t-shirt. That is really cool. It's really cool. Really happy to have that. I love finding Power Ranger shirts. It's something cool to have on camera. And I also got a Dragon Ball shirt. That's cool. Oh, and then also at the dollar store today, or no, wait, no, it was at the Five Below next to the dollar store, I got this Grogu t-shirt. That's freaking awesome. Oh, and I don't know how interesting this is, but I went to a thrift store and got a pair of shorts. Just normal shorts. And then, anyway, at the flea market, somebody had a huge box full of Power Ranger stuff. And so, let's see, I asked how much it was. It was $20. I looked at my wallet, and I only had 14 left at the time, and there was still like half the flea market to go through. So I said, well, I'll come back. And then he said, oh, I'll take 14. And then he was like, well, how about 10? And okay, that's reasonable. So I went back, bought the thing, and he just tossed in a bunch of other Power Ranger stuff that he happened to have there. So I guess he was just trying to get rid of it. And there was some cool stuff there, and then there was this broken Red Dragon Thunder Zord. Yeah, one half of his arm's broken, the other half of his arm is broken. I actually have the arms. They were still, like, which one? One of them was, like, glued on, but the glue had leaked into the little moving joint mechanism. I managed to get it to move now, but, yeah, it's too late. It was broken. And the other one just snapped right off. And its head was missing, of all things. So, yeah. Oh, and the front is missing a piece, I think. Other than that, though, I think it's all there, so I'm going to hang on to it. Maybe sometime in a lot of stuff I'll get, maybe there'll be a Thunder Megazord, or like, a Red Dragon Thunder Zord not in the best of shape, so I can use this for parts or something. And then the other really cool thing was the, well, now what's wrong with the head here? Come on. There we go. The Jungle Fury Megazord. Missing one leg, so he'll have to fight the bad guy standing on one leg for now. Now, the weird thing with this is, let's see, I took it apart, and they're in really nice shape. They're really nice toys. Missing the tails on both of them. But the weird thing is there's, like, a bunch of extra plugs all over these guys, and at first I was wondering, like, well, what are these for? And then I remembered, oh yeah, these Zords form with the other Zords later on in Jungle Fury and Geki Ranger, so yeah, I guess that was the idea. They were thinking ahead when it came to this, put all the extra plugs on, so in the future they can plug into whatever, or maybe they came with stuff. Oh, the hands are like translucent orange. That's really bizarre. They look like big gummy candies, don't they? Oh, and there's holes in there, so like they can hold didn't this guy have a pole or something that he used to fight the bad guys with? I don't remember. Anyway, there's that. Oh, and then there was this thing. A whole bunch of, like, bag of stuff here. He called it a board game, and there were even instructions with it. So I opened that up. Let's see. Operation Overdrive, Adventure Set B, and, normal Adventure Set. Let's go over the first one. The Adventure Set was, this weird looking, this pizza looking thing. There's this weird little bird arrow thing that I thought looked kind of like a Mystic Force thing. That goes on here. Then there's little pegs on here. The idea is you put little Overdrive Ranger toys like on the pegs, and then you put a lava lizard over here, and you shoot little missiles with this little button here. It's missing the missile, and I guess that's it. Also, apparently it came with a Megazord that just sits there. The other thing was a little more involved. Let's see, there's this little launch pad thing with a big button here. You press this, and a little red Overdrive Ranger on a motorcycle would shoot out. I really like this thing. It kind of reminds me of Pyramidas in its design. And then there's this really awkward, like, wall thing that you put together. And it's really weird because none of the pieces really, like, they don't clip together. They're not magnetized. They just kind of sit there. So you just have to hope this thing won't tip over on itself. And then you launch Mac at it, and poof, it falls to pieces. Yes, that's really all that's all it is. You just launch Mac at this wall, and it falls apart. And the idea is you put these little SPD villains, of all things, on there. Why didn't they have lava lizards or chillers? Like, I think the other one showed pictures of the chillers, didn't it? Oh, yeah, there's a chiller, so why didn't they have the lava lizards and chillers for this? And even if they didn't want to, like, reuse Overdrive monsters, why didn't they use Hideax from Mystic Force? Like, they're clearly not from Overdrive, they're from SPD. So, who knows? Anyway, yeah. So anyway, the unfortunate thing, the reason I'm just reading it off the instructions and actually showing you is because a lot of the pieces are missing. I didn't have the motorcycle, I didn't have most of the Rangers. The only Ranger that I got in this set was the Red Overdrive Ranger that went on the motorcycle. The motorcycle's missing. Most of the monsters are missing, and, oh well. So anyway, let's go over the rest of the stuff. Now, one of the coolest thing that I found, and the whole reason that I bought that big box of Power Rangers was for these. These rubber 15th anniversary figures. They're vinyl figures. They're kind of like vinyl figures. I think the closest we got to vinyl Power Ranger figures in the US. They're really cool. The sculpting is really great. Like, all the details are there. They're fully painted. The pose is nice. The sculpt is nice. The helmets look perfect. The pose looks perfect. Everything about these is just awesome. And I would have loved if they had done this for, like, whole teams. Or even if they were just doing Red Rangers. Like, if this was, like, this became a popular thing, like, every year they would do, like, a Ranger in a fixed pose as a vinyl figure. That would be so cool. These would look so great together with, like, a whole group of Rangers. So anyway, there's Lost Galaxy. And there's Lightspeed. Man, these just looked so cool. Let's see. There's Dino Thunder. Now, oddly, he's the only one who's powered up. I don't know why they made a powered-up version for him and nobody else. And there's Mighty Morphin. This one looks really cool. Look at that. The pose just looks so perfect. And then there's Time Force. And then Wild Force here. I really love that, like, even that little badge on his chest is, like fully painted. Let's see. Oh, and the little, like, the belt buckle is fully sculpted. Let's see. Ninja Storm there. Oh, and he has a hole on his back. Don't know if something plugged into that. He's the only one, I think, with a hole on his back. And then Turbo. And unfortunately, that's all I have. I'm pretty sure they made a Zeo and an in-space version of these guys, but I don't know for sure. So, yeah, I'll have to look that up later and try and track down the rest of these guys on eBay. Let's see, they say 2007, so I'm thinking that was once a Ranger, so these were probably put out for the 15th anniversary. So let's see, was there an SPD, Mystic Force, and Overdrive Ranger for these? Oh, maybe. If they came in packs of 5, that would be 5 more. Okay, so anyway, the rest of the stuff, here's one of the weird repainted SPD guys. This is, what were these things called? Trubians? These aren't the Crybots. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, I definitely know they're not purple. And then here's the Little Red Overdrive Ranger, and what's really nice is even though he was made to ride on a motorcycle, he's still sculpted to be kind of a neat little figure on his own. He's got some decent articulation, wrist movement, arm swivels, head swivel, no waist movement, but his legs move, and it's not like really awkward for him to stand there even though he's a motorcycle toy. And then here's a couple of weird ones I found. These weird Overdrive Rangers with big thingama-whatsits on their arms, and some like weird stripy extra paint on them. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, the whole idea is there's a little thing, you push this little thing here, and yeah, a little hook goes in and out. Whoopee! Oh, and then there's a hole on his head. I don't know if something plugged in there. I can't imagine what would plug in. Like, you have this giant whatever. There's no other plugs on him, so why just something in his head? Let's see, and then here's the Blue Ranger. His thingamawhatsit does this. Yeah, get out of there. And then it folds back in. Okay. The color on him is at least, like, it's kind of nice. Kind of a 90s surf feel to him. Then here's Will, orange of all colors, and he does this. There's a little gear, you move that, and it spins the little whatever at the end. Yippee! Very weird. And then I was really happy to find these guys, because I kind of want to do a weird Bandai video on these. These couple of Jungle Fury figures that look fine, except for these bizarre yellow strappy things. What are these? I have no idea what these are. What did these go to? Like, my grandmother said they look like parachute straps, so did these guys have little parachutes? There's no holes or plugs on them, so whatever went on them either clipped on or, like, strapped on or something. And it's so bizarre, because, like, standalone, they're pretty nice looking little figures. And then they put this big ugly yellow thing on there that just completely ruins it. Why did Bandai do things like that? Oh, and here's a Red RPM Ranger with a bunch of crap on him. I don't know what's with the shoulder pads. His arms are in a fixed position. There's no elbow swivels or hand swivels, nothing. He's just stuck with this one hand open and kind of like posed awkward. His one foot is posed like, let's see. Or both of his feet are posed weird. This one is meant to like stand way out, and this one's meant to stand way back. So he's in like a very specific fixed pose. He has these weird shoulder wing things. I have no idea what they are. But it's another situation of they had a good figure, then they just put all this crap on it and ruined it. I don't know why they did that. And then here, this was kind of a cool little thing. Mac in the Defender vest. That was cool. And it has the shoulder pads. Whoopee. So, nice little figure. Nothing amazing. It's nice. Oh, I forgot to show you. Let's see, is it? Yep. These, the one Overdrive Rangers with the whatevers on their arms have little buttons on their belts. And it makes his chest light up. He's the only one that still works. The other two, the batteries are completely dead. And last up for Power Rangers, I got this little blue Centurion. Yeah, the one that has, let's see, it's the smaller figure. It's more plasticky feeling. But all the pieces are there. Both both knee pads are there, which is a really good thing because these are actually removable for some dumb, unfathomable reason. And let's see, yeah. Nice little figure. He's missing his gun, though. That's unfortunate. And one other really weird thing. This shoulder pad is backwards. Yeah, there's the sticker that's on the front of this one. there's no way to fix it. If you put it, like, forward, his arm is up here. So what's going on there? Did someone take this apart and swap, like, another shoulder in for this guy? Because he's in pretty decent shape, like, otherwise. And I can't, like, switch the shoulders around. It's the same shoulder on both sides. Was that just an actual thing they did with this toy when it came out? They just, like, put the wrong shoulder on him? Why would they do that? If that is what happened, if it's like somebody switched it with something else, again, why was that the only part that got replaced? What the rest of him looks like it's in perfect shape, except for his missing gun. So yeah. That was all the stuff I got today at the flea market. Hope you enjoyed this. See ya.